Hello and welcome back to GT Retro World. What do we have on the desk today then, guys? A couple of Hygain 5s. I used to have a love-hate relationship with these radios. I used to love the bleep on them, but they were annoying at the same time. We all know that, don't we? And obviously some of them had the straight single tone bleep. Anyway, we're going to start at the beginning because we've got three here and they all differ. You know, some of them slightly, one is a lot. So basically with the first one up here we have the 2795, so it's the Hygain 5 2795 model, not the DX, just the standard 2795, and that basically just came with the clarifier, no KC shift, and there's a few little bits around the back that differ as well. Anyway, I've had a little play with these because they've been stuck in a loft quite a while. Not as long as some of the other stuff I had, but they've been in here a while. Anyway, this is the baby of the bunch, the 2795 non-DX version. These basically transmitted from 26515, something like that, to around about 27855, I think, thereabouts, in the standard guys like. This one, however, I had a quick check. I've got no way of confirming frequencies as such. I'm just using my HF set there just as a bit of a guidance, really. But it seems to have been crystalled, I think, for super high and mid band, which is probably what most people did years ago. It seems to work ish. It's doing about a couple of watts thereabouts, this set. The channel display is not working at all, it's just blank, but everything else seems to be fully functional within reason, and there's no beep. I have no idea what's up with that. Like, I had a little look but didn't look nothing untoward, but I'll have a proper look at this in the coming days, but I'll show you around it anyway. Yeah, so high and low tone, noise blanker, volume squelch, low mid high bands, FM, LSB, USB, AM, RF gain, your clarifier. And on the rear of these, with them being the basic model, they've just got the cell call socket and the extension speaker. But yeah, it works within reason. I'll get back to this one a bit later on. I've left the covers loose so I can show you inside of these things if anyone's interested. It's quite tidy inside, like this one. It doesn't seem, there's not going to be much to go amiss with that. I think I'll have this up and run within no time. There's Spaghetti Junction, as we used to nickname them years ago. Quite tidy, pretty much standard. Hasn't really been messed with that much, this one. And there's the front of it. Like I say, it's very similar to this 2795 DX which we have here. The only difference is with the 2795 DX we've got a clarifier and a KC shift, which is made them a lot nicer to use, really. But yeah, it's that's quite tidy, that one, really, but it does want a bit of work. Like I say, there's no LED display on the channel selector, so we can't really do much with it. I had a bit of a mess about. It was a bit of a blind test, really, and other than the low power and that, I think that's somewhere near. And obviously it's going to want a decent alignment, like, by the looks of it. Anyway, this is the DX model of the 2795, and I'll tell you what I've just got set up here. I'm just going to let you listen to the beep. Remember that, Yeah, it's doing about 4 watts this through the dummy load. Near enough. Yeah, 4 and a bit, thereabouts. And it's TX in there on 27200, or somewhere near. The best I can do, like I say. I've got nothing really down here to do anything serious with these things at the moment. So we'll give you a quick look around this thing and show you the differences between these models. Okay, this is the 2795 DX version. We have the high and low tone, noise blanker, which in this case this has been changed to a alphas, I think, by the looks of it. Volume squelch, low, mid and high bands. Again, this has been EEPROM, so it's got 6 banks in it, so it's like 5 plus the UK40. We've got FM, low sideband, up sideband and AM, RF gain, clarifier, KC shift. This radio seems to work quite half decent. It wants a bit of an alignment, I think, but it's not bad. I mean, someone's put a RX and TX LED in here, but they're disabled. They're doing nothing, which is good, I suppose. I'll show you where these differ on the back a little bit as well. On the back of these things, look, you've got your cell call, which is the same. Someone's put on and off bleep switch on there, which is fair enough. You've got your frequency counter, and also a socket for tape out, which could be quite handy. The frequency counter is probably quite handy for some, like. Yeah, it's quite decent, this one, actually. It doesn't seem too bad. And that's the difference. There's not really a lot in it. They're all the same board. They use the PTBM121B4 whatever X, I think it is. So these two are almost the same radio, board wise, with just a couple of differences. I'll show you there if we can get them both in the frame. And round the rear, let's do that. There you go, see. So they're both the same sets. Right, up next we have the beastly 8795DX. Now these were quite decent, you know, these were 4 blocks of 50. They were a nice set, to be honest. I liked them. Again, this seems to work okay. It's got a bit of an RX noise in there every now and again. Sounds like a dying cat, you know what I mean? So that one's a bit of an alignment. Other than that, it seems to be doing what it needs to do, and it hasn't really been, I tell you what, it hasn't been messed with a lot, but I did notice something I didn't like the look of. For some weird reason, someone's put the phase lock loop on the board. Obviously upside down. Why they removed that and shoved it on there is beyond me. I have no idea. As you can see, whether I risk taking that off and swapping it back on the bottom is another thing, because I don't think I've got a two-way anywhere, to be honest. I might have, but and whether I want a chance busting the legs is another thing. But let's have a little look. Bit of noise coming from somewhere there. Right, give you a quick dive into this thing. So that's the 8795DX internals, which is the 200 channel radio, and it's got 4 banks of 50, and it transmits. This one is actually transmitting from bang on 2600 to 2800. It's only doing about a watt and a half, this, a couple of watts, but like I say, apart from that phase lock loop pulled out and shoved on the top of the board, I have no idea why that's been done, because it looks quite clean in there. I just can't get my head around it. The traces don't look too, no, actually no, I think these are a couple of traces that are knackered on there. You might, it's even still, I still would have, I probably would have fed it from back where it was, like, I mean, dare a chance flipping it back over. I don't think, actually on looking at that, I think a couple of the legs had snapped. I think that's why he's gone to the top of that on there. Let you have a little look. Like I say, it's a bit of a strange place to put that, but there must be some reason for it. I don't know whether it's worth disturbing that or just leaving it. Like I say, this radio is pretty much standard. The only thing I did notice was, I think, let me just read down my notes here. Yeah, the alphas are on a noise blanker, and I noticed it's got a strange LED in here in the meter. It changes from like 5 or 6 daft colours, which one's ripping out. Why that's been put in there, I don't know. But other than that, I think it's pretty much a straight radio. That they're all the same, similar type of thing. But you've got like your bleep switch on here, but these are just like a long tone bleep on this one. It's not like the Hygain bleep we know and recognise. Volume squelch, A, B, C, D on the band selector, which is banks of 50. We've got CW on here as well, if you're into that type of thing, on one of these. I don't know why. Or sideband up a sideband, AM/FM, your RF gain. Oh right, I'll tell you what, there's one thing on these that differ as well. We've got a PA, which is on your RF gain, the fan, course, clarifier, KC shift. Around the back they get a little bit different. Can you see that? And obviously we have PA, extension speaker, and CW. I had to look down there just to make sure, but yeah, I thought it would be. But this set isn't actually that bad. It's a bit scutty here and there, but to be honest, apart from that phase lock loop, if I can find another one, I'll take it off. If not, I'll leave that. But yeah, these were a nice little set. They were alright for what they were, I suppose. But 3 of them, Jesus. 3 of these stinkers. I mean, do you know, I've never worked on an 8795 before, but they're a lot nicer to look at, aren't they? To get in there on the board, like. Aye. The 125. Is that a 125? Oh, let's have a look at that board again. Another 125. Yeah, 125 A4X. Let's see what's been done. It's had an audio, it's had outputs, but I suppose other than that, bare phase lock loop, it's not bad, I guess. But yeah, it was just a one for the weekend, really, because I've been on with other things. But yeah, that's about it, really. I was just wanting to drag them all down and just let you have a little look, really, before I do anything with them. I'll probably go back up there again. As I say, I'm still on the lookout for a decent scope and a few other bits and bobs, mainly test equipment, and somewhere to mess about with this load of old rubbish, because I haven't even started with this stuff yet, really. My first ever Hygain was an Hygain home base, actually. Yeah, an SSB. It was like a mixing desk. Yeah, it was a bit of a pile of shit, actually, but it looked the business. I think I've mentioned this before in one of my other vlogs. I swapped it for a fish tank. Yeah, I did mention that, just coming to my head now. But anyway, guys, just a little look at these 3. And I'm going to try and sort them out over this year sometime. I mean, this one on the top definitely wants to be peeled back a bit. Like, I don't mind messing about with paints and stuff, you know, so I'll probably refurbish the fascias on some of these. To be honest, I've never done it on a radio. I've done it on like modelling and various other toys and whatnot, but these are going to be quite straightforward, especially with them being silver and black. And the modern tech our lass has got in the craft room would be ideal for doing some little water slides for these, no doubt. I can't see that being a problem. But yeah, it was just a little show, really, just to keep the channel busy or somewhere near, maybe of interest to someone. Anyway, guys, that's about it, really. So a thumbs up wouldn't go amiss, and subscribe to the channel would be more than appreciated, to be honest. And in the next few weeks I'm going to be doing a little competition. I'm going to be giving a little radio away, so keep your eyes peeled for that.